Welcome to part 2 of finishing duologies. I am gonna get straight to it. In this part, we are reading Steelstriker, Namesake, and Devil in the Device. Currently, I'm halfway through Steelstriker. I said, let's get it out of the way. I'm actually enjoying it. Surprisingly, I didn't really enjoy Sky Hunter that much, but this is actually better. I don't know why. I did download the audiobook because I was like, I need to be doing things while I read this. I cannot sit here and read this book because I'm pretty sure it's the longest one out of all of these. It's like almost 600 pages on Kindle, and I just don't have the mental energy for that. So it's like halfway through the day right now. I'm halfway through the book. I am determined to finish it by either tonight or tomorrow, like midday, because we're going on like a mini vacation and I don't want to have to deal with it after that. So in Sky Hunter, the first book in this duology, we are following Talon, who's from Mara, the last free nation that has not been conquered by like the evil Karenza Federation. She is a striker who is like a trained warrior to kill ghosts, who are these prisoners turned zombie-like creatures that are like set on like killing them. There is a Sky Hunter who gets taken prisoner by her people, and they have like a link. His name's Red, and he's like the greatest weapon of the Karenza Federation. Together with their friends, they infiltrate the capital, realize that they're planning on like conquering Mara, and they go back and like have a war with them. At the end of Sky Hunter, Mara is conquered, becoming one with the Karenza Federation, and Talon has to trade her freedom for Red's. So at the beginning of Steelstriker, she is the new Sky Hunter, the weapon for the Karenza Federation. She has a link between her and the premier, who's like the president, but she also has a link with Red still. Talon is forced to betray her friends who are trying to infiltrate the capital and like derail a shipment, I think, because she has the connection with Red, so she saw what they were planning. And so the premier got that information out of her. Half of her friends are like taken prisoner and are forced to like compete for like the excitement of the public, like think Hunger Games. Red and Geron, I believe is his name, are another one of her like rebel friends, are trying to help them escape, while she is also, I think, trying to kind of go against the premier, but she also discovers this like underground rebel force who I think might be also bad, sort of in like a coin/snow type situation from the Hunger Games, just in this book. Yeah, I'm determined to finish this book today. I have my word games and my puzzle games on my phone that I've been playing while I listen to it. I've also been doing some things around the house, so I'm confident that I can finish it today. The last half of audiobooks always goes faster than the first half, and I'm enjoying it, surprisingly, so it's gonna be great. So I need to rant for a bit. I'm at a part in the book where Talon's friends and Red are trying to, I think, free her mom and also like stop this plan that they have. But two of them are in a relationship and they're both guys, and they're like being gay, and it's told from Red's perspective, so they're like having a cute little moment, and then Red goes, and my thoughts turn back to Talon, who like I'm in love with. And I'm like, okay, so yet another example of like how gay people can't just be gay. They always need to like, especially if it's in a book written by a female author and the main couple is straight, it will always have some sort of segue into, oh, here's why I'm in love with like this person. Ugh. It's just frustrating. Let people be gay. So this journey of reading Steelstriker has been very short. I just finished it all in one go, essentially, on audio, which is what I wanted to do. First off, where I left you, they were in the capital city and trying to like get her mom back. Talon is working with this rebel organization in the capital. Half of that rebel organization, like I predicted, is evil and is trying to replace the current like evil villain president with his more evil younger brother. So they get killed by the current evil president, so they're out of the way. Like the subplot is like out of the way, and then Talon and her friends and Red save her mom and defeat the evil guy. And sort of like all the tides of fate, they break the Federation into its individual nations that it had conquered, which is like how I like things to end. Like I love that trope. So right, and they like live happily ever after, and it's great. I did really like it. I gave it 4 stars. Yeah, I liked it a lot more than the first one. Remembering back, I do remember enjoying the end of the first one enough that it kind of bumped it up in my ranking of it. For that one little rant that I did after, like in the last clip, that was me like it wasn't like a rant, it was just me commenting on like the stereotypical straight couple at the center of the book. I ended up really vibing with them. Like they're both like kind of superhuman towards the end of it, and they both have like nightmares. It's sort of like Peeta and Katniss. It's very similar to Hunger Games, and now that I think about it, no one really died. Everyone like lived happily ever after, and I like was okay with it. I've always said Marie Lu is one of my favorite authors, and that still stands. I still have loved her writing from what I read, but I think I've kind of aged out of it. She does write mostly young adult. I'll have to check out if she has written any adult stuff, but yeah, I think I'm just a little bit too old for her stuff. I felt very like far removed from everything that was going on in this book. I loved it, but I think that it was everything was really laid out perfectly and things were conveniently happening. There was no kind of intensity. There was no, oh no, are they gonna make it out? You kind of just knew that everything was gonna be fine. That being said, I do love her writing. I'm kind of tired of the first person, and I think that made it maybe a little bit worse. That's pretty much all that I have about Steelstriker. Oh, I just can't look at it. I'm so glad I liked it, because if I didn't like it and I had to keep this gorgeous book, I'd be so sad. I also don't have a hot pink book. So next, because I'm gonna save the best for last, next I'm going to read Namesake. Again, I'm gonna have to find a summary of the first one, which is called Fable, and then read this. This is probably, out of all of the pirate ocean-y books I've read in these 2 videos, this is probably the most piratey of them all. So I feel like I say this for all of them, but I do remember really liking the first one. Finished Namesake, and I didn't film any of me reading it. I promise I read it. I definitely read it. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. Basically, Fable is about Fable, who is the daughter of like the most powerful merchant in the ocean. But like he has like shunned her essentially. So she's trying to like get back in his good graces. And she meets West, who's the captain of a ship plot twist, the ship is under her father's trade rule, and yeah. I don't really, I tried to look up summaries for Fable. It was hard to find an accurate one. So I went into Namesake a little bit blind. I really enjoyed it though. She's still reeling from West's betrayal at the end of Fable because he like sold her out to like a rival merchant. And so she's on the rival merchant ship. She goes to this like even more powerful trader, and it's revealed that like it's her grandmother. And so there's like a special connection, and her grandmother is like trying to get revenge on everybody who was around when Fable's mother died. Her grandmother, named Holland, wants to have like the best trade routes and have like the best like she wants to be the best merchant essentially. So she tasks Fable with finding this like unfindable gem to make her rich. Then there's a bunch of intertwining stories from people we've already seen before. Fable and her crew and West, they all go out and try and find this gem, and it's like they can't find it. But Holland is like trying to like be the big bad guy, and so they don't find it. But now their goal is to defeat Holland, and so they concoct like a plot to smoke her out and like frame her for like selling fake gems. And it was just really interesting. I really enjoyed it because it's piratey, but it's more about diving and trade, and it is set on the ocean. But I liked it. Surprise, surprise. Like, I'm shocked, honestly. I gave it 4 stars. I really loved it. I listened to it on audio, which I think maybe made it a little bit worse. Obviously, it's narrated by like a full-grown adult, but it felt a little bit juvenile. And yes, this is YA, so that's probably why. But like, I'm sure the writing in itself was really good because I got immersed in the story really, really well, and it went by kind of quickly, even though it's like a 9-hour-long audiobook. I like Fable a lot, which is very rare for me to like a main character the most. And it was twisty, sort of. It was one of those things where us as the audience don't know the full story of like this plot that the characters are concocting. And I really like that. I feel like it's an unpopular opinion, but I really like that trope in entertainment. So yeah, this is probably my second favorite out of all of these books that I've read in this vlog. I am holding out for Devil in a Device though. I'm really excited for it. So I have Devil in the Device on my Kindle. I am debating which method I want to read it on. I love this book, and I've been wanting to read a physical book for a while, and I've realized that these pages are really, really thin. They're like Bible pages, and the font's kind of small, and it takes up a lot of the page. So it's only like a 400-page book, but it feels like it's gonna read like a 500. On my Kindle, there's 638 pages. So it's a long one, but it's sci-fi, it's dystopia, it's coming after a really big twist in Goddess and the Machine. So I think I'm gonna be really immersed into it. It's just one of the most unique stories I've ever read. And I'm just really in the mood for sci-fi after like fantasy or like on the edge of fantasy, urban fantasy vibes. So I'm excited for it. I guess I can also tell you what Goddess and the Machine is about. So Andra, a girl from 2102, the year, wakes up in like a cryopod, and she was supposed to be going to this different planet with her parents, her sisters, her entire family, because they were leaving Earth. And so she wakes up 1,000 years later than she was supposed to, and she finds this really sandy world. There are this entire society, and they speak differently, and she's viewed as this goddess because she's woken up after 1,000 years, and everyone's like worshiping her. And I think his name is Jade or Zaid, I think it's Jade. He's the main guy, and he kind of takes her under his wing and teaches her everything and shows her the lay of the land. She's basically trying to figure out like why she woke up so late and like where her family is. And the twist, spoilers ahead, is that she is on Earth still. And she is, I think it's unclear, but I'm pretty sure she's like a robot type person. She's a robot. She's been a cyborg for her entire life, and she's thought that she was human. So I'm editing this and I'm realizing that some of the things I'm saying aren't super true. So I'm just gonna tell you here. The Earth is ending. And the scientist, Alberta Griffin, who knows that the Earth is ending, who is the head of this mission to colonize a new planet, knows that the Earth is ending. And so she created Andra to act as a failsafe in case this mission to colonize a planet doesn't work. So obviously it didn't work. So Andra is held back, wakes up, and is trying to like find a way to build this rocket to take everyone to the new planet. Her family's gone, she doesn't know where they are, and she's having all these like existential thoughts because like, oh my god, she's an AI, like what if they never loved her? Her mom knew that she was an AI, but her dad, sister, and brother didn't. So now we have this. And I think at the end of Goddess, the people of the city kind of revolted and realized that like she wasn't all that she seemed. And so I just read the summary. She's assumed dead by the people, and she needs to build a rocket. Oh, I remember. She needs to build a rocket to have everyone leave because the planet is actually dying this time. There's societal power struggles, but also like monarchy power struggles, because I'm pretty sure there's like a pseudo monarchy in this book. And yeah, I'm like really excited. And the writing is beautiful. It's so good. I really loved this book. I really, really loved this book. I'm not sure if I gave it a 4 or a 5 star. I'm pretty sure I gave it a 5. It could be 4. If I didn't give it a 5, I don't know what I was doing. This book is a bit hard to read, which I remember from Goddess in the Machine, but this isn't a name, that's a word. This is matter around. This means the crown was now a mere decoration. See, and the wording is so, like, I understand it, but it's hard to read. I live in this sweater now, ignore it. So I'm 50 pages in to Devil in the Device. I'm really, really loving it. I'm remembering more about Goddess in the Machine and the fact that there are all these humans just in cryo sleep under this city on Earth. And it's her job Andra's job to build a rocket for all of them to colonize a new planet. There have been 2 other goddesses before her who have helped the building of this rocket, but I think she's probably like the final piece of the puzzle type person. So I'm only 50 pages in. I did mention in the last clip that it takes some getting used to read, especially Jade's perspective. Since he is from this time period, he uses all of this like new language. You can infer what it means by the phrasing of it, so it's not too hard, it just takes a lot of getting used to. Andra's perspective is normal, easy to follow. And it's not told in first person, it's told in third person for both of them, but it's told from their brain, so he thinks in this new dialect. But I like it a lot. I'm really loving it. I go on vacation in 6 days, so I've split it up into 6 sections of 70 pages each, so I'm gonna read 70 pages a day, and I'm gonna finish it. So I'm halfway through Devil in the Device. I started annotating, but then I got really immersed in the story and I stopped. I don't know why. I think there's just not much to annotate. I don't feel a super deep connection with the book, so I think that's what's stopping it. I'm loving it. I really love the storyline. I love the atmosphere. I love everything about it. It's different. It's a lot different than what I'm used to, which is good. It's sci-fi. I love sci-fi. I think I mentioned in an earlier update that Jade's perspective is so, or it was really, really hard to read just because it's a completely different dialect and you just have to get used to the different words they use for words that we use currently. I don't remember if I've like told you what's happened in this book, but basically Andra lives underground because she was banished there because everyone thought she was evil. Jade is now, has his brother's face and is ruling this city. Andra's mission is still to like build this rocket to take all these people frozen in cryosleep up to the Ark, which is a spaceship in outer space or in the atmosphere that is going to take them to another planet for them to colonize. There are also these pockets, which are masses of like nanobots, so it just looks like black dust in the air, that are threatening the entire way of life for them. That's what destroyed the Earth in the first place. But they're safe from them for now in this city that has a bubble around it. Andra is also having these like thoughts because she's an AI, so she's having these like destructive thoughts. It's like any AI movie where like the bad AI takes over the world. She's having those destructive thoughts, and so it's kind of like side-eyeing that. Jade is struggling to rule, is struggling to use his new powers from this crown that is implanted into his brain so he can use it to control the robots that live in their city. She finds out that the scientist that designed this entire program to go to space has this lab under Lake Superior, which she finds, and she realizes that there are a bunch of clones of the scientist who are like grown-ups, and they all have access to memories and knowledge that the scientist had. So the scientist tells her to wake up some of the people who are in cryosleep to help her build this rocket and to update their technology because they all have like neural implants. So she's going to update all of their technology to match hers, which makes them immune to the pockets. That goes wrong, and she accidentally wakes up like 1,500 of them. So now there's like humans who are living underground who think that they're on the new planet that they were supposed to colonize, even though they're on Earth. She teams up with Cruz, who is one of the humans, to put her technology into everybody else's to make them immune to the pockets. Cruz is also this like 18, 19-year-old kid. She's 18. And so their plan is to give all these people her technology. And here's my problem is that they're 18 and all of these people are like 30, 40, 50, and they're just going along with everything that these like teenagers essentially are saying. That's like one of the only times or the only reasons I'm kind of skeptical. I also have no idea where this is going. I don't foresee her leaving the planet because she's made connections with all of these people who are on this planet. If she does leave the planet, she's definitely going to want to take all the people from Earth, from the city. She's going to want to take them to the new planet, which definitely is not going to fly with all the humans who have been in cryosleep. So I'm just like, I don't know where it's going. Building the rocket seems like a subplot, even though it's the main goal for her. Building the rocket to send them to the ship that's going to take them to the new planet feels like a subplot. I just don't know where it's going. I'm reading it and I'm liking it. All of the plot lines, all of the goals for her feel stagnant. It also doesn't feel like there's any internal conflict other than, oh, I can't be with this guy because he knows I'm an AI, blah, 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 which is just classic YA. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I like it a lot. There was even a mid-chapter that has binary code in it, and I decoded it. And I felt like a coder, hacker, I don't know. I feel like no one would take the time. So I'm curious to know like if this message actually means anything. It says, burn it all until there is nothing left but ashes. And that's a message from the outside of the city. So I don't know what that's about, but I'm having a good time reading it. I felt like a legit hacker when I did that. I was like on my phone with like binary to text conversions and stuff. It was fun. So yeah, halfway. So this self-doubt is like a major thing in this book, and it's really frustrating. She just had like a moment with Jade where she was feeling really good about herself, blah, 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 blah. And now she's right back to being like, I'm an AI, my feelings don't matter. This self-sacrificing self-doubt is really, really annoying. Okay, this is literally like one page later, but Griffin, who's the person who created the plan to go to space, is definitely evil. And I definitely think that they're gonna work together to make Earth better rather than go to space. Because there's no progress being made on the rocket. And it literally sounds like Star Wars, like converted him to the dark side. You know what I mean? Okay, so much has happened in the past couple chapters. Basically, all these colonists are awake. Andra realizes that this crown that Jade has on, that his brother had on before him, is actually this tool that's been passed down for generations by these people who want to destroy the people who destroyed the planet. Serena, who is the queen type person of this society, who is Merritt, Jade's brother's mother, can control this crown that Jade has on, and she is making him evil. Long, long ago, Serena had a daughter who she abandoned in the wastes, the outside of the city parts. Griffin, the scientist who is the head of colonizing another planet, took this girl in and taught her everything she knew and sent her back into the city to get rid of Serena and the crown, because she is one of the people that the crown is trying to destroy. So Andra knows all this, and the colonists are still just like vibing under the ground. She goes to try and remove the crown from Jade. She gets killed by Serena because Serena's controlling everything around her. The pocket that she's immune to comes in and heals her and is suddenly like a good pocket. All the colonists are like immune to this pocket, and so it's, I think, a good pocket now. I don't know, but they heal her. She goes into her like AI state, which is like endless knowledge and not like humanity stuff anymore. She removes the crown from Jade, but there's still lingering stuff, so he's still kind of evil. And Serena overpowers everything and puts the crown on. Meta, who is Serena's estranged daughter, comes in and kills her because she wants the power for herself. And Griffin told her to. And then while there are healers tending to Andra, because technically she died, she realizes that while she was in Lake Superior at Griffin's lab a while back, she ingested some of Griffin's memories, and one of the memories is that Hollymyth, which is the planet that they're supposed to go to, doesn't actually exist. So that's the big twist that just happened. I still have like 150 pages. So much is happening. There's so much information being thrown at me, and it's a lot. And I still don't know who's evil and who's not. I still have my suspicions, but for now, we're just enjoying it, and my brain feels like overloaded right now. There's so much going on. Okay, so everything's going so fast, so I'm just gonna quickly update you. We have 3 characters, Cruz, Andra, and Rashmi. Cruz is the 18-year-old kid who is helping Andra put all the nanos into everybody so that they can be immune to the pockets. He turns out to be bad. They were not making them immune to pockets, they were actually making them AI, and he works for Griffin, I think, so that's why he was going along with like everything Andra was talking about. Rashmi is the second goddess, who I haven't really talked about, but she woke up before Andra. She has always been AI. She's known that she's AI, but they were trying to make her more human, so they implanted human memories in her. And now Cruz, who is AI, so AI Cruz, is talking about how
real crews like ruined their plans because AI crews wants everyone to be AI, essentially like an evil AI. So it has turned into evil AIs take over the universe. And it's implied that Griffin was the one who started this converting everyone to AI plan. So they were never actually meant to go to this new planet, in addition to the fact that the planet isn't real. The plan was always to convert everybody to AI. Unclear why. And also everybody that she gave the nanos to, so everyone that she converted to AI, is dead. Like the real version of them is no longer a thing. So she's grappling with the fact that she like killed a bunch of people now.
Yikes.
Okay, so I'm sitting on the floor because I needed a change of scenery. But I finished Devil. No. I finished Devil in the Device. I really, 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 really loved it. I'm just gonna quickly tell you what happened. I wrote notes for this time because there's so much information. So Andra figures out that Griffin is an AI. She became sentient and accidentally created the pockets and used them to wipe out the world, cause the end of the world, and keep the most valuable to turn into AIs. Andra plans with the humans to destroy all the AI people that Andra through Griffin, because Andra was the one giving them the nanos. So she plans to destroy all of them, and Griffin is also coming over from the lab that she was in. Jade is in a cell because they don't know if he's evil yet, and all of the AIs are being kept in this room underground, and they all break free, and there's this battle, and like some people die, and some people, like humans, get turned into AIs by the AIs. Andra and Rashmi go to the castle, and I think it was unclear, but I think they're trying to go get enough energy for Andra to turn all the evil nanos that are in the pockets good, so that she can overpower all the AIs. Jade and his brother go up to get the crown from Meta and have like a moment. There are also a bunch of EMPs, and they grab one as like a last resort that'll wipe out all the AIs, I think temporarily, and cause the actual like crumbling destruction of the city. The EMP goes off before they can get to the energy source. They go to the rocket that was being built to go to the planet, and Andra uses that energy to make all the nanos good and heal everybody and destroy all the pockets. Griffin finds them. She gets destroyed along with all the AIs when all the nanos turn good. So at the end, Andra loses all her memories, but she still has them. They're still like in her brain, but she hasn't lived them. It like destroyed the like neural link between her experiencing the memories and the memories themselves, so she can still access them, but she hasn't lived them, so she feels off. And yeah, and so everyone's like focused on healing the world. There's like another democracy ending, and the world is kind of reverting back to normal really, really slowly. And that's it. I really, really, really loved it. I really loved the kind of the take on what it is to be human and humanity itself and what humanity will do to survive, paired with this like insane info dumpy AI story. So yeah, and even though this girl is definitely an AI, she still knows what it is to be human and has these friends who like teach her compassion and like stuff that AIs don't have. And like the end where all the nanos become like good again was really, really like it was weirdly beautiful and told from the nanos' perspective about how like they were eradicating all the like corrupted AI tech and making it good again and like healing all these people. So I really liked it. It was very, very info dumpy at times. I think it could have maybe done with some editing in the storyline of it all. It was kind of hard to keep track of, on top of being kind of hard to read because of the new dialect. But other than that, it was really, really good. I really liked it. I am gonna give it 4 stars just because of all the things I just mentioned. And I really, really, really wanted it to be a 5-star. I just think that maybe it could have done with a third book where all the info was just kind of spread out through the whole series. But yeah, so that's this series done. I had a good time reading all these books. I had a good time finishing all these stories. I'm just like excited to like read the books on my shelf now. I will be back sometime. I don't know when. Eventually. Bye.